large, they're larger, and what they do is, particularly the campesinos and the ones who go out to cut sugar cane, they put water in there because it's clay, it keeps the water cool, and then they pour it out like this to drink.
Recuerdo que yo trabajé mucho con este tipo de programas, ¿no? Para el campo. Entonces,
remember that I worked with this type of thing, especially the big ones, for people who work out in the field.
Yo tenía en mi taller tres tornos haciendo porrones.
In my pottery shop, I had 3 wheels that were dedicated to making porrones.
Uno de los tornos era el mío,
One was mine.
haciendo porrones. Entonces, la tarea de hacer eran 80, le llamamos sin el pico y sin el asa, le llamamos la caja del porrón, cuando está acabado de hacer.
The task was to make 80 of them, and you made them without, first you make them without the little spouts, and this is called box.
Entonces, hoy haces la caja y mañana por la mañana le pones el asa es una cosa que se hace aparte en el torno, se le pone, y después esto se le pone así y se le hace así, se le alisa y se alisa así.
So today you make the box, then tomorrow you put on the handle and make the little spouts.
Entonces, los que trabajábamos en competencia, ¿no?
So we would kind of
A
compete
ver
against each
quién
other
acababa
to see
primero.
who would get done first.
Y así pues el porrón nos lo pagaban a $2.
They would pay, for the big porron, they would pay $1.
Entonces yo pagaba 20 centavos por la caja solamente. Entonces tenía un hombre que pegaba los picos y el asa. Esa se la pagaba 15 centavos por tener la asa. Y entonces así ganábamos dinero. Pero había veces que empezábamos por la madrugada a las 4 y estábamos trabajando hasta de noche porque esto se vendía por miles de...
The box itself would cost 20 cents. I would pay the man to do the finishing part.
Esto lo hacemos chiquito para los niños. Los niños les gusta mucho tener un porroncito chiquito porque beben mucha agua cuando tienen un porroncito. Se empinan así. Bueno, pues muchísimas gracias.
Too much. He doesn't know what he's got to do yet. Well, thank you.
Sometimes we would start at dawn making them, and we would end up, dark would overcome us, and we would still be making them because we used to sell them by the thousands. It would cost me 20 cents to make the box, and 15 cents I would pay the man who would do the rest, and so that way we were able to earn a little money. Remember, they'd sell them for $1.
El dibujo que tiene
And the painting on that one,
es la iglesia católica.
La
Torre Isnaga Trinidad. Ok, Isnaga Trinidad.
Isnaga.
Sí, Isnaga.
in la ciudad de
Trinidad.
It's the tower of Isnaga, who was a wealthy woman in the town of Trinidad. And this woman was a Dorcas. In other words, she was always doing works of charity for everyone.
La historia es que dos hermanos que tenían, por supuesto, el mismo apellido, uno hizo una torre y el otro hizo un pozo con la misma altura de la torre.
The story is that there were 2 brothers, and one made the tower, and the other made a well the same depth as the tower went up above the...
Cuando vayan a
So when you go to Cuba, you will see that.
I have stood on the top of the tower.
It's
Puente y al lado. Él le va a hacer la historia ahora a Jim del puente de Hallado, que es el que...
Now he's going to tell you the story of the painting.
Cuando descubrieron la ciudad o fundaron la ciudad de Santi Espíritu, al poco tiempo de estar allí, yo supongo que debe haber sido lo menos un siglo, 100 años, para poder ya hacer los ladrillos en los tejares y poder construir el puente.
When they founded the city of Santo Espiritu, it probably took about 100 years till they had all the, had made all the bricks and all the tiles for the roofs and stuff like that, and there was actually a town there and with a bridge.
Esta construcción del puente es pudiéramos decir, una ingeniería española, ¿no? Todo en otras ciudades hay por el estilo puentes con los 3 arcos, 4 arcos y después, pero el de Santi Espíritu es un distintivo de los espirituanos, ese puente. Donde quiera que se ve, el puente de Yayabo. Yayabo se llama el río. Y déjame decirle otra cosa.
This bridge is, of course, in the Spanish colonial style, and there are other bridges with the arches like that, Spanish bridges in Cuba. But this bridge, if you see pictures of this bridge, you immediately know that this bridge is the bridge from Santo Espiritu. It's very, very distinctive of the city of Santo Espiritu.
El agua del Yayabo, del río ese, dice que el que la bebe una vez, vuelve otra vez para volver a beber de ella.
The river that flows under the bridge, the Yayabo River, there's a legend that if you drink water from the Yayabo, you will again return to drink from the Yayabo.
Y el puente se construyó alrededor de 1500, de los años 1500.
The bridge was probably built about in
Pero se
early
cuenta
1500s.
que se hizo con leche de cabra.
And the story is that the liquid that was used to make the mixture to make this bridge was made with goat's milk. Thank you, with goat's milk.
La mezcla se preparaba con 6 meses de anticipación.
The mixture was made six months ahead of time,
Con leche de
and it was mixed with goat's milk.
Todavía pasan
y,
And cars can still go over this bridge.
y hay otro puente más chiquito que estaba al lado de paso, donde decimos paso a nivel. Eran una serie de pilarcitos así, y todavía la gente ha querido arrancar los pedazos de ladrillo y no han podido, porque se volvió como cemento. Parece que la liga esa en contacto con el agua se pone igual que el cemento.
And there's a smaller bridge that's there's a smaller bridge that also was made with this.
De adorno para que lo tenga de recuerdo. De la tierra espiritual.
Muchas gracias. David and I, on behalf of our 2 congregations, want to give you something to sort of remind you of your stay here and your congregation of sort of what our area of the country is like. And so...
Wait. David y yo también, de parte de nuestras congregaciones, queremos darles un libro para que lleven a su congregación, para recordarles de esta región aquí, del norte.
Gracias.
Is that a react? Is that a react?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might tell him a little bit about who he is. Or what.
El fotógrafo, Ray Atkins, el fotógrafo de esto.
Say a little bit.
He was as close to an official state photographer as Oregon has had. And it's definitely the most famous.
Aunque ya falleció, fue el fotógrafo. Si Oregón tuviera un fotógrafo oficial, él hubiera sido, porque él sacó muchísimas, o tiró, como ustedes dicen, tiró muchísimas fotos de Oregón. Tiene las cascadas, tiene todas las regiones todas las varias regiones de Oregón.
And he was still taking photos in 96.
96 años todavía estaba tirando fotos, como usted dice.
Gracias.
Gracias. Les dan todas las listas les dan muchas vistas de todo el estado, no solo de Portland, sino porque la verdad es que en la parte oriental del estado no es así tan verde y tan arbolado, que no tiene tantos árboles como acá, sino es más como alto del cerro. Eso es en el cerro. A donde no alcanzan a ir. They didn't have time. They used Yo sé, pero solo le estaba preguntando, ¿no?
We don't have any plan already made,
Nosotros no tenemos un plan ya hecho, ¿sí?
because it needs to come out of our conversation.
Porque necesita salir de nuestra conversación.
And we want it to be mutual,
Y
a
queremos que
partnership,
sea mutuo, que sea un hermanamiento.
and, Judy, if this is an appropriate thing, and not in any way paternalistic or like the rich church coming to help the poor church.
Y
We'd
no
like to be
queremos
much
que de
more-
ninguna manera se vea como una cosa paternalista, que es una iglesia más rica ayudando a una iglesia menos rica. Que no queremos que en ningún momento haya esa clase de sentido en nuestra relación.
Because the goal for us, I think, and it is to strengthen our own faith, our understanding of how we are disciples of Jesus Christ, and we hope that you're going to help us know that and learn that.
Lo que queremos nosotros, nuestra meta es strengthen, ¿se me fue? Fortalecer, gracias, fortalecer nuestra fe y crecer en nuestro entendimiento de nuestra fe y que ustedes nos podrán ayudar en eso a nosotros.
Okay?
And I think I heard that last thing that Jim attempted to express, expressed also by Ida Lydia, by Javier Naranjo, by other people who have come to us.
Y creo,
And so we hope that's a mutual
y
hope.
creo que yo oí eso mismo que Jim expresó, y Olivia más o menos, y Javier Naranjo y otras personas también han expresado que de parte de ustedes es esa misma esperanza, y entonces espero que eso pueda ser una meta mutua.
So what next?
Yeah, what would be helpful? Tell us what would be helpful in your relationship with us. Where do you want to go?
I know, but ustedes, es decir, él le gustaría saber ustedes qué les gustaría de nosotros. Yo no sé si ahorita sería el momento apropiado de decir lo que estamos haciendo.
That's fine. She needs to do the diplomatic part of what I was trying to say.
Es que ella me- ¿sí? ¿Quieres que yo diga algo sobre eso?
Ustedes estaban hablando.
Pero el proyecto de lo que será de la publicación
No. There's some embarrassment, you know. I mean, to say what we want or what we might need or what might be helpful. Not materially speaking.
Well,
We're not saying.
let's say this. Theoretically, as you envision a partnership between two churches within two presbyteries that are already in partnership, what should those two churches be doing? What kinds of things?
Okay, entonces ponemos por un plano como más teórico. Si uno piensa en una relación hermana entre dos iglesias dentro de un presbiterio, digamos antes de incluir otra iglesia, ¿qué deberían estar haciendo esas dos iglesias para ayudarse?
Bueno, quizás nosotros pudiéramos hablar acerca de los proyectos que tenemos
nosotros tenemos un proyecto. Nuestra iglesia cuenta con muchas personas mayores ya, adultos mayores.
Our church has a lot of senior citizens.
Y no todos tienen una situación económica floreciente.
And not all of them have a very,
Nosotros tenemos un ambicioso proyecto
not what I was saying before, not all of them are at all well situated financially. So we have a very ambitious project.
de brindarles desayuno y almuerzo a esos ancianos.
We would like to be able to offer breakfast and lunch to those folks. El desayuno era café con
Espérate, yo voy a buscar. No solo son ancianos que pertenecen a la iglesia, sino ancianos de la comunidad.
It's not only senior citizens that belong to our church, but it's senior citizens of the whole community.
El desayuno consistiría en lo que es nuestro desayuno tradicional.
The breakfast would be our traditional breakfast, which would be coffee
Café, leche
with milk
y pan.
and a piece of bread.
Y el almuerzo
And lunch
sería
would be
arroz,
rice,
frijoles o caldo,
beans, or broth,
un plato fuerte de carne,
some kind of protein like
de proteína
some meats or vegetable protein,
y ensalada.
and salad. When Tina told me about this in the car, she said, for example, that even the thought of serving meat to them is like a luxury, because a pound of meat costs like 20 Cuban dollars, and an average salary is $7 a day, not an hour, a day.
Actualmente estamos terminando de reparar la antigua casa pastoral que está al lado de la iglesia.
Right now we are trying to finish renovating the manse, which is the old manse, which was right beside the church,
Que hemos hecho algunas habitaciones y una cocina.
in which we have made some rooms, made up some rooms, and also a kitchen.
La cocina todavía no está para terminada, estamos intentando terminarla y ahí se elaborarían los alimentos para estas personas.
The kitchen is not yet done, and as I understood from our conversation this morning, they don't have the appliances in the kitchen, but she said we would just do what we could. And it would be in that kitchen that the food would be prepared to feed the senior citizens.
Y entonces comentaba con Yuri que tendríamos que buscar una cocinera de allí de la misma congregación. Vaya, las mujeres de nuestra congregación ayudarían en esta labor.
We would probably find someone in our congregation who would do the cooking, but the other women of the church would come and help do the cooking and serving.
Y también ayudarle a algunos ancianos a la casa, a la cantinita, porque no todos pueden caminar.
And also to do a Meals on Wheels, but would probably be Meals on Legs, because some of the senior citizens cannot come to the church. That
May
is
I
our
respond
great-
to
yes.
something that I heard? It occurs to me that some of the ministries you describe are similar.
Se me ocurre que algunos de los ministerios que ustedes describen son similares a los que tenemos.
And so I'm wondering about the things that are challenges to you in doing that.
Me gustaría saber entonces cuáles son los retos para ustedes al tratar de montar esto.
And also the things that you can celebrate that you've been able to accomplish already, and how they happen.
¿Y cuáles cosas pueden celebrar porque ya se ha podido llevarlas a cabo?
We could probably say some of the same things about things we've tried that failed or succeeded.
Y nosotros, por ejemplo, también podríamos hablar de cosas
And the thing that's so striking to me is how many things we do have in common about what we're trying to do.
Y lo que a mí me interesa muchísimo es que hay tantas cosas que tenemos en común, cosas que ustedes y nosotros ambos queremos hacer.
So it may be that by looking at each other's successes and failures, we can learn something.
Y también puede ser que mirando nuestros éxitos y también nuestros fracasos podemos aprender mutuamente el uno al otro, y eso no es en realidad respuesta a tu propuesta todavía.
For example, I wonder if the interaction between the government and the church, or our culture and our church, has an effect on those ministries in ways that are similar and different, and then what we can learn. I wonder about just how do you get people to not want to retire like Lydia, who's the treasurer. So all these kinds of things. I don't know.
That's too much.
Too much.
Me lo dio tan grande, un pedazo tan grande que no lo alcanzo a masticar.
Well, let me put it another way. We've had some conversations with churches 6 blocks from us. What are your challenges? What are your successes? And in that interchange, we've learned a lot.
Nosotros hemos tenido conversaciones con iglesias que nos quedan ahí cerquita, como unas 6 cuadras, y hablando de nuestros éxitos y de nuestros fracasos, hemos aprendido mucho. Así que creo que él salió del plan, del plan específico al teorético, y después volvemos al plan específico.
Bueno, a nosotros nos interesaría mucho saber sobre sus éxitos. ¿Qué hacen para mantener un avivamiento dentro de la iglesia? ¿Cómo están trabajando con los niños? Experiencias sobre el trabajo con el adulto mayor, con las mujeres. ¿Qué hacen? ¿Qué compartir eso?
We would also like to hear about your successes, about what you have done to sort of keep the spirit alive in your churches, what you do with the children, what you do with your senior citizens, with women. We would like to hear that from you too.
Judy, do you want to tell them about our new Sunday school model that the children have?
We did the tour, we talked
Okay.
about that.
I wonder if we are simply beginning a list of things that we are going to
I'm
communicate.
just writing stuff down.
I don't think we're going to do it in the next 20 minutes. I think we have pages and pages of emails and all kinds of
Yo
stuff.
creo que lo que estamos haciendo es, y yo me estaba apuntando, es haciendo una lista de cosas acerca de las cuales queremos comunicarnos y también estudiar más a fondo, porque tenemos más o menos unos 20 minutos más, se supone que se había convocado esto por tiempo corto, así que pienso que vamos a tener páginas de correo electrónico y de cartas y todo eso para poder explicar y hablar y discutir en cuanto a todas estas cosas.
Do you have retreats?
Ustedes tienen retiros, celebran retiros.
Sí.
¿Con quién? With who?
¿Quién participa en el retiro?
Los jóvenes celebran retiro.
The youth,
Las mujeres
women
celebran retiros también.
also.
Y luego la iglesia
And
en
then
general ellos celebran retiros.
And what? The whole church.
the whole church, as sort of as our family.
I find myself thinking as a member here, that as we do the pages and pages of emails, that it would be nice to see if God leads us to doing things together that neither of us would ever do on our own.
Yo quisiera pensar que con todas estas páginas de correo electrónico, que si de pronto Dios nos va a guiar a nosotros a hacer un trabajo, una misión, que ni a ustedes se les ha ocurrido hacerlo solos, ni a nosotros se nos ha ocurrido, pero como comunidad junta, tal vez nazca algo nuevo.
I have no idea what those might
No
be.
tengo ni idea qué será eso.
Yo estaba pensando en cuando Lexi, ¿no? Elsie compartir entre las tres iglesias y en algún momento cuando nos volvamos a unir, poder compartir las diferentes experiencias y cómo se trabajó en una iglesia y en otra y compartir eso en cuanto a educación cristiana.
She's saying that as to Christian education, that she was interested when you said that you study certain themes. And she was thinking that it might be interesting to pick a theme that all three of our churches would study, and then when we gathered back together again, we could share the conclusions or the observations that we may have come up with independently, share it together.
I was also hoping and praying we could share liturgy.
Y también sería lindo compartir liturgia,
And prayers. We're doing that already. I'm sure.
oraciones.
Continue to hold you in prayer.
Nosotros todas las semanas pues, en apoyarlos en nuestras oraciones.
Yes, and you hold us in
Y
prayer. What, Judy, how much is there English available so that there can be correspondence more easily?
There's a thing on the internet called babelfish.com which will translate. Does that work? No?
Never speaks.
But that's, what I understand from some of those translations is that they
They're
just...
not very good.
They come out that way.
I don't know, Mark sent me one that was pretty good.
Alguien,
Apparently it
digamos,
worked for her.
allá que también habla inglés o si toca así pasar las cosas así por traducción también o...
No, allá, bueno, está... Sí, allá hay personas que...
There are people who speak English, but I think also the other thing that I need to tell you is that internet connection there is very difficult. You know that she does not have an internet connection, nor does Pedro have an internet connection. NGOs can have an internet connection. Presbyterian may have an internet connection. So when letters come and go, they frequently go, like she may take a letter on her disk and take it to somebody who does have an internet connection and then can send it. So it's not quite as easy as you sending to me.
Part of what I was wondering is, for example, if the fourth grade church school wanted to write to the same age group, write letters to the same age group there, and have somebody who's going deliver them sometime, is there somebody there that could translate them for those fourth graders?
Por ejemplo, si la escuela de mitad de niños de cuarto año primaria fuera a escribir cartas a los niños de cuarto año primaria de ustedes, y si alguien estuviera viajando para allá, que si esa persona pudiera llevar esas cartas, si hubiera alguien allá que las pudiera traducir o si tocaría mandar las traducciones.
That's what I'm talking about.
Eso es lo que él está diciendo.
That kind of exchange.
To that end, we are currently in the process of developing some kind of newsletter or network Presbyterian center that would keep track of who is going to Cuba, when they're going, how to be in touch with them, so that if we have these kinds of packets, I already know of 3 opportunities in the next year to send stuff, but everybody needs to know that.
Okay, estamos ahorita mismo trabajando a nivel presbiterio para establecer una lista, una red donde se puede mantener todos los nombres de la gente que está viajando a Cuba para que, digamos, si nosotros necesitamos mandar algo, no es sino mirar en esa lista, ver quién va y cuándo, y poder enviar las cosas.
Our understanding is that's still the best way to send things. Just with them.
Según entendemos nosotros, esa es la mejor manera de enviarles cosas, es por medio de alguien que viaje. ¿Sí?
Is that, yes? Back to the thing about, if there's a theme, not only Bible study, but liturgy can focus on the theme. Shared liturgy seems a big thing. But if we shared liturgy on whatever theme, and secondly, prayers for your church, we can pray for your church now because we know it by name, but specifically, I know how to pray for 3 missions, one without a roof. That's the kind of specificness we're looking for.
Eso de compartir liturgia, pues, y temas bíblicos o lo que es la lectura bíblica, pues eso es fácil, ¿no? Porque la liturgia, mejor dicho, el tema bíblico, pues se podría decir Marcos aquí, Marcos en inglés, etc. Pero dice que eso de oraciones, ahora no solo yo conozco la iglesia, pero yo también puedo orar específicamente por 3 misiones, una que no tiene techo. Así que lo que se está buscando también no es solo, por favor, oren por Santo Espíritu, la iglesia de Santo Espíritu, sino oren específicamente por esto y esto y lo otro. Y nosotros también les diríamos a ustedes, oren por esto y esto y esto.
I have some more ideas of possibilities down the road, several years.
Yo también tengo unas ideas de algunas posibilidades que podríamos hacer, pues ya unos años más adelante también.
For example, some of us would be very excited about coming to visit you.
Por ejemplo, algunos de nosotros estaríamos muy emocionados de poder ir a visitar a ustedes.
But perhaps from the 2 churches, 5 years from now, maybe a choir from here could come and go to several Presbyterian churches in Cuba.
Y tal vez de aquí a unos años un coro de miembros de la iglesia de allá y de acá podríamos ir allá y visitar no solo Santo Espíritu, sino otras iglesias del Presbyterian.
And you could send a choir.
Y ustedes podrían mandar a Jacqueline.
She understood that.
Those kinds of things. Maybe Pedro can come here and preach for us.
I have a tendency to want to do things right away.
Tengo una tendencia que yo hacer cosas ya.
Is it important, since we're all here right now, to think of a date or a theme to start dreaming about sharing lessons or liturgy? Or should we wait on that?
Like, for example, for Lent next year.
Okay. Or Pentecost this year?
Yo no sé, pues tal vez como estamos aquí juntos, podríamos fijar una fecha y tal vez un tema, digamos, para que compartamos para Adviento o la Cuaresma o Pentecostés o lo que sea así. Okay.
So what do you have in mind for a theme?
Okay.
She just asked the question.
Y esa es la pregunta nomás.
Nada más.
She suggested.
Ayer Pentecostés.
Pentecostés until next year.
Eso es muy lejos, o podría ser también la Cuaresma. Ustedes hacen estudio durante la Cuaresma, Lent or Advent, Ya, advenimiento, según yo, ya advenimiento se nos vino encima.
Sí, esa cara.
We're obsessed with planning ahead.
Pero la sesión de planear.
Pedro's not going to be back for
Pedro no va a estar allá para la Cuaresma, ¿sí?
No, él llega en julio.
July. Until July. So what do you do for a preacher between now and then?
Kenya.
Mujeres, ¿cierto?
Kenya, you
The
don't need
women of the church are preaching.
Yes.
Sí.
Y entonces, ¿qué vamos a hacer específicamente con lo que tú planteas?
I feel like I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I
I can't have a specific thing in mind.
What are we saying?
Do we just
Lent.
Well, there's only 2 things occur to me. One is that the name of your church means Holy Spirit.
El nombre de su iglesia significa Santo Espíritu.
Sí.
And then secondly, that we're in the Presbyterian of the Cascades, and water has something to do with baptism.
Agua tiene que ver con Espíritu.
I don't know if that
Y
means
yo no sé si
anything to us.
eso
If you want
nos
to-
lleva a algún lado o no.
Thank you for sharing.
I'll just start with the name. That's right. set a date by which we'll decide on the
O
theme.
podremos decir, por lo menos fijarnos una fecha cuando vamos a haber decidido el tema.
No. Yo estaba pensando que quizás para la Semana Santa pudiéramos preparar una liturgia que se hiciera el Viernes Santo en las tres iglesias iguales, ¿no?
She says, I was thinking that maybe for Holy Week, for Good Friday, or the Good Friday service, we could prepare a liturgy that we would use all three of them.
Y entonces, ¿cómo pudiéramos ir intercambiando? Mi pregunta es cómo pudiéramos...
My question is the mechanics of it. How can we share ideas and prepare ideas?
Our
I'm sort of
exec-
getting my feeling that my computer's going to be pretty fired.
Our executive presbyter is going to Cuba in November. If you can have something ready by November, he can bring it back.
If you can have something.
And if we can have something by November, we can send it with him. We can exchange, we can take red pens to each other's drafts, and so on.
Okay, que nuestro presbítero ejecutivo va a viajar a Cuba en noviembre. Si ustedes tuvieran algún bosquejo preparado, nos lo podrían mandar, nosotros podríamos marcar y nosotros le podríamos luego enviar nuestras ideas.
Por email.
Pues sí, pero empezar porque el presbítero se lo lleve o no lo traiga. Which way did you want it to go?
Juntos. Both.
How about we do a liturgy for Advent, they do one for Easter?
Oh, that's a much better idea.
¿Qué tal si nosotros hiciéramos una liturgia para el Adviento y ustedes para el Viernes Santo? Y entonces
Intercambiamos.
y entonces sería un poquito más fácil, pero de todas maneras podríamos hacer cambios y entonces preguntar si les parece.
So what did we just decide?
The suggestion was we would share
Your Advent liturgy with them, and they will send back Easter Good Friday liturgy. ¿Sí? Así que nosotros le vamos a mandar nuestra liturgia de advenimiento y ustedes nos mandan la liturgia para Viernes Santo.
May I say one thing? Colonial Heights Church celebrates Monday, Thursday, like there's no tomorrow part of the time. And we don't have a Good Friday service.
Well, I think she means that particular.
So the point is that if it were a Lenten Holy Week service, that could, like a Tenebrae, that could go Monday, Thursday, Good Friday.
Es que aquí muchas veces el servicio más importante es uno que se celebra el jueves por la noche, jueves santo por la noche. Creo que en América Latina muchas veces es el de viernes. Pero es la misma cosa. Así que fuera la liturgia que se prestara para cualquiera de esos dos días. ¿Sí?
En el jueves ellos tienen la predicación de las 7 palabras.
Sí.
Okay, es lo mismo.
It needs to include lots of songs.
Y él quiere mucha luz.
No hay problema.
No, a ver. Eso es algo que...
I think they were a little hesitant about putting their vision for the senior citizens feeding, and I think it has been placed out, and nobody has, not that they're expecting to say yes, we're going to send money, but nobody has spoken at all back to them on that.
Can I ask a question in that regard? I heard yesterday about a roof on a mission that had fallen down. Today I hear about a seniors program. If we were going to pick a thing, where's their
Prioritize. We talked about that in the car, and I will answer for them. She was saying, she was a little concerned about the excitement the gentleman picked up on the roof, because as far as they're concerned, feeding is more important than cooking, especially in their kind of climate.
I want to respond to your meal for senior citizens.
Él quiere responder a lo que el alimento para la tercera edad.
In 3 weeks, this church will begin a meal program for hungry people in the community in cooperation with an Episcopal church 2 blocks away.
En 3 semanas, en nuestra iglesia, en cooperación con una iglesia episcopal que queda 3 cuadras de aquí, vamos a comenzar un programa de alimentación para gente de esta ciudad que en realidad no tiene hogar, no tiene donde vivir.
So it's obvious that we have something very much in common in terms of that kind of caring.
Así que es obvio que tenemos algo muy en común en cuanto a nuestro interés, nuestro llamado a hacer esa clase de cosas.
I think that we've got some people here from our outreach committee, and I think that they would be excited about talking about how we can be partners with you in your ministry.
Tenemos aquí 2 miembros del comité de misiones y yo creo que ellos estarían muy contentos de hablar en el comité cómo podemos nosotros entrar en un hermanamiento con ustedes en esa misión, en ese trabajo.
More?
Do you want to say something?
Well, sure. Colonial Heights for 1 year now, as of actually next week, is our 1-year anniversary of a participation in an interfaith hospitality network to provide meals and overnight accommodations for people without homes. They saw a picture on the bulletin board.
En Colonial Heights ahora esta semana cumple 1 año de ser parte de una, dice ecuménico,
Yes.
de un grupo ecuménico que ofrece hospitalidad y comida. Ustedes vieron una foto para gente que necesita eso.
And last Thursday, we were in the Oregonian neighbor section of East County. And I was kind of proud of us getting a year mention. The point is we have the same, we also share that type of thing.
Inclusive la semana pasada salió en el periódico. Así que yo lo que estoy tratando de decir es que nosotros también compartimos con ustedes esa visión para ayudar a...
In the newspaper article, the part they printed of what I said was, it's like putting pieces on an airplane while it's going down the runway. Because that kind of ministry is always filled with challenge.
Y lo que yo les dije, había dicho al periódico, que ese ministerio de dar comida es casi como tratando de arreglar un avión mientras ya está decolando, porque siempre hay mucho reto con un programa así.
So,
Judy, is it appropriate to ask about what their estimate would be in terms of what would be helpful for us to do financially?
A él le gustaría saber, y yo sé que tú tienes esos números, Lidia, más o menos qué presupuesto se estará mirando para desarrollar el programa de la comida.
Nosotros,
the treasurer.
nosotros para cumplir con ese menú que propusimos, por anciano, por cada persona, porque allá las cosas no son muy baratas.
Sí, sí, sí.
Gastaríamos unos 60 diarios en cada persona, dólares.
Por cada comida.
No, por el desayuno y el almuerzo.
I need to know that food is not cheap there, but they figured out that it would cost about $1.60 a day US to do both meals.
¿De cuántas veces?
De entre 20 y 30
Entre 20.
The group with whom we were thinking, the group that we were thinking of starting with was between They also presented this plan to the Council of Churches in Cuba, which is the ecumenical group. And the Council of Churches said, we can help you with some money. They could give them enough for 10 people. And she said, we cannot start it until we can feed that as many as we have. So they don't have a projected date because they don't have the funds.
Is it 5 days a week or so?
5 días a la semana o 5 días?
6 días. 6 días a la semana.
That $1.60 US dollars.
That's US.
Yeah.
El dólar 60 era moneda norteamericana.
Sí. Sí.
$1.60 a person for breakfast and lunch per person.
So it's like $60 a day for everybody.
About 50.
Más o menos $60 al día.
If they do 30.
Yeah.
Si hacen 30 personas.
They have half of it. Or no,
They
half
have,
of
no,
it.
they have a third.
They have a third.
So if we said something.
Ahí sería bueno decir que ahí en ese listado dicen los productos de necesidad, por ejemplo las sazones y muchas otras cosas no están incluidas.
Sí, porque las pondríamos nosotros, las pondría la iglesia.
This budget only, it covers the main ingredients they would get. The congregation, they as people would then add the stuff like for the seasons, like probably like garlic, onions, spices and all that. That budget doesn't even touch that.
So it looks like about $40 a day, and that's $240 a week at 6 days a week. That's what's missing. And part of what we would need to talk about is that we would need to find ways to sustain it. But we can't just go in and say we'll do it for 3 months and then we're out of money. Too bad. We would need to talk about whether or not how much of this we want to take on, if we do, and how to sustain it over time as part of our
I
ministry.
have a number of ideas about it.
Y fuera de eso,
10,000 a year.
no queríamos decirle, bueno, vamos a empezar a dar dinero sin saber si se podría continuar, porque para darle por 3 meses y entonces que se acabe, entonces también no tiene valor. Entonces hay que más o menos conversarlo, mirarlo, analizarlo y mirar.
Well, we don't have to go into great detail now. There's a number of ways to send money. There's a number of funding options, and there's lots of churches in this presbytery that aren't in a partnership here.
Dice que no
There's a peacemaking offering, and I think we get a quarter of it.
Pero tiene ideas que hay otras iglesias en este presbiterio que así que va a tocar ellos van a tener que ver.
What we need is a very specific name for this project, so that if we designate money.
Necesitamos es un nombre muy específico para este proyecto, para presentarlo a otras entidades, a otras iglesias, y va a decir que este es para el proyecto La Pesca o lo que sea, ¿no?
So what do we call it?
Entonces, ¿cómo se va a llamar este proyecto?
What are they?
Lo van a bautizar ahorita.
Ayuda al anciano.
Mi nombre va a ser más. They don't have a name yet. Tienen que, ustedes también tienen que ponerle un nombre.
Okay,
Tienen que bautizar
that's what we
ustedes.
need.
Eso sería muy útil para nosotros acá.
And it's their name.
Whatever
Y que
name
sea
they
el nombre de
choose.
ustedes, ¿no?
Whatever they
No
call
sea
it.
que nosotros que lo bauticemos allá.
For example, if it's the Sanctus Spiritus feeding program, or if it's the Sanctus Senior Civil, anything, we just need to know exactly the word.
Que solo saber el nombre específico.
It doesn't need to be
No,
common.
y no tiene que ser alguna cosa.
And Judy, I think that it's safe to say that when our executive presbyter comes down in November, we will have an answer.
Y estoy segura que cuando nuestro presbítero ejecutivo vaya a morir, después vamos a tener alguna respuesta.
And that just sort of pulling around the table, I would expect that we would be in partnership with you in this program.
Y viendo por la primera
mañana.
Aunque la cocina, a ver cómo
En la
explico,
casa,
aunque
pues.
la cocina no esté terminada, en otras experiencias que hemos hecho en hermanos similares, las hermanas, como hacen ustedes, cocinan por partes en la casa y lo llevan a la iglesia y de ahí se distribuyen.
That even though our kitchen is not equipped, that probably similar to what you guys might do, the sisters will cook in their homes, bring the food to the church, and distribute it.
So we have commercial.
So
I want to go back to something Jim said.
I just asked them what it would take to cook the kitchen.
Falta como una cocina.
Mira, la cocina está en ladrillo, hay que comprar los azulejos, fregadera, fogón,
Yeah, they don't
tenemos
get a health
platos,
department license.
tenemos con qué cocinar, esas cosas sí las tenemos.
No, y ya tiene placa
Y
también.
tiene placas,
Tiene
tiene
techo.
pared y todo, sería solamente vestirla con azulejos y buscar algunas cosas.
Pero es que allá las cosas son muy caras. Por eso yo hice esa expresión, no fue usar.
Jim, the kitchen, they have the room made. They have plates, they have pots and pans, they have the wherewithal to cook, but they don't have, they have to put, you have to put some tiling around it, and then they need a sink to wash the dishes in, and they need a stove, and they aren't even talking refrigerator at this point.
Do they have a guess?
¿Tiene alguna proyección en cuanto a cuánto costaría eso?
Yo pienso que eso cuesta alrededor de más de $1,000.
She thinks it would probably cost over $1,000.
I want to go back to something Jim said and make sure we're all on board with it. Something about, do we all think this is a project that we want to be on board with? Not do we personally think we have the money, but what do we think of this project? Can we all together bring our consensus to this? As people, as something we're going to present to session as leaders in our churches. So I just want to make sure we all look each other in the eye and say, this is a good thing.
Esta parte de del grupo, que todos están de acuerdo, que
Are we-
estamos de acuerdo, que
Yeah.
queremos entrar en hermanamiento y presentar
I like
esto.
that it's not just something picked out of a book.
They are getting economic help. The economic situation in the country is so bad that everything is suffering. So even though the government may have in place programs to help these folks, there's not the money to do it with.
We have programs in place too that don't all work. I think we're ready to come back to the close.
She says, but we haven't spoken about the return visit.
How about a year from now, on World Communion Sunday?
¿Qué tal de ahora en un año para el día mundial de la...
Pedro will be home.
Pedro habrá
Sí,
regresado.
ya.
I think it will be, as a minister,
Como pastor,
it would be wonderful and amazing
sería maravilloso.
if I were gone for a year
Si yo hubiera estado fuera del país por un año,
and came back and a whole new ministry had begun while I was gone.
el ministerio nuevo se hubiera desarrollado.
You You know, another vision for way down the road might be a pulpit exchange on World Communion Sunday. So Pedro comes here and I go there.
Right. Well, Women's Sunday. Really? Yeah.
Oh, on Women's Praise Sunday. We have a Women's Praise Sunday. We'll exchange some.
Actualmente ese proyecto se está llevando con la hija de crianza de Pedro, Mirielis.
Oye.
Un pastor, no sé de qué sitio es.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe va a estar por un mes en Placeta y Mirielis va a estar un mes en
Epigmenio's foster daughter, Mirielis, she's a pastor, and she is doing a pulpit exchange for a month with a pastor from Santa Fe. And the pastor from Santa Fe is down in her church with his family.
By way of answer to her question, as they begin to talk about their feeding program, if you would pray for 6 letters, MEPIHN, that's our program. That's the name of our program. Interfaith Hospitality Network.
That's what you just
Metro
named?
East Portland Interfaith Hospitality.
No,
that's
program.
yours.
That's what I want there, because I understand that the Holy Spirit is at work in Cuba, and so I want them to pray for us. And
Él, como el Espíritu Santo está obrando en Cuba, Él quiere que ustedes oren específicamente por ese programa que tienen ellos, es el programa de hospitalidad, el momento que ellos tienen. Quieren que ustedes oren específicamente por ese programa y por ellos.
And they can pray for ours as it begins here too.
Y también pueden orar por el que vamos a comenzar la semana. Y nosotros oraremos por el de ustedes. Y cuando le pongan un nombre más fácil.
Sí, cuando yo mande la relación, llamando un nombre.
Okay, when she sends that budget, she also sends,
all right.
I think we need to end.
Yes.
Yes.
Excuse me, I would like to know, how do you get Cuban money to them? You couldn't send them a check, they could not cash the check to Cuba.
There are actually ways that we do it through Canada if we have to. The Presbyterian Church has a way to get it.
And it's mostly dollars, actually.
And it's dollars, not Cuban money.
Oh,
Dollars work better, actually, in Cuba.
I know, a dollar.
Yeah.
Israel, a dollar.
There's actually a way around it.
Yep, there is also a license in Louisville, which gives us permission to send several $100,000 a year to Cuba. We have a number and a specific account for our partnership under which we can designate specific projects. There's all kinds of specific ways to do it.
Well, you just wonder how your money
Yep.
is going to get there and not into
Yep.
Castro's hand.
It will.
It will. We have ways.
The church has ways.
We don't want Mr. Castro.
The problem is in the U.S.
Yes.
Oh, the problem is in the US.
No, yeah, the problem is our government.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the government itself.
Yeah, our government, not theirs.
Oh, did you say the farm is?
Well, they won't let us send money.
Right.
The embargo, exactly. Exactly.
That's why I'm asking. Yes.